What's up, everybody? Here we are, episode 2 of the B+Ball Boys podcast. Coming at you over the satellites, over the intercoms. Here we are. Okay, we got Memphis Marko, we got Eric with the flow, and yours truly with the 500 Lakers. Let's go. Let's get it started. This week, Eric showed us a beautiful song that's making the rounds. So we have a new segment called Players Pushing P. And mine is Devin Booker against the Spurs this week. A casual 48 points, almost a Giannis 50 burger. 8 for 33 overall, 5 for 13 from deep, 7 for 8 free throws. This guy dished out 5 or 6 assists, got 5 rebounds as a short king. We love to see it. And 3 steals. So he's got a little Paul George in him. And that was in a victory. So proud of him for that. You guys want to talk about your guys's or?
Booker went crazy. This was a big game. I watched some of it. Like, he had 30 in the first half or something. The game was decided early. Like, he just wouldn't let the Spurs in the game at all.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not like he's playing like the Bucks or something or someone like amazing, but yeah, it was incredible. It was a great game, a great performance rather individually. So that was fun to watch. Eric, Marko, how do you want to talk about your guys'?
Yeah, I'll go. Okay, so my player pushing P this week, a little context before I talk about the player. So the game was Indiana Pacers at Golden State Warriors. Pacers coming into the building without Sabonis, Turner, or Brogdon. If you look at the team stats, Sabonis and Turner lead a lot of them, especially in rebounding. So you're talking about an incredibly shorthanded team versus the Warriors. So now you got Chris Duarte pulling up, rookie, playing 38 minutes, including overtime, 10 for 16 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3, and 0 turnovers. I know that people will look at the Warriors and see that Steph had a terrible night shooting. I believe he had 27 field goal attempts and he scored. If you take away the free throws, he basically made 30 off of 27 field goal attempts, which is very inefficient. But Pacers had to score points to capitalize on Curry's shooting night, and I want to give some love to Chris Duarte for being a rookie, leading his team, shorthanded. So good on him. Highly efficient, 62.5% from the field. Take that any day of the week. So big up to you, man.
What's that?
I guess I'll go with my player who's pushing P. I will go with Scotty Barnes. Earlier this week, they played a game in Dallas where he was guarding Luka. And there were some situations where Luka was taking some step back jumpers and he wasn't really guarding him, and Luka missed them. And the Raptors were fighting back to get back in the game. They were only down 1, about a minute left in the fourth quarter. Luka steps back. Scotty Barnes doesn't even guard the step back. He just lets Luka step back from 28 feet. Luka nails a 3. They're down by 4 with a minute left. Nick Nurse calls a timeout, starts yelling at Scotty Barnes, like, what the F is wrong with him? Stuff like that, right? Well, he's a rookie. Rookie's going to mess stuff up. It's about how you respond, right, the next game. And the way that Scotty Barnes played in Friday's game against the Wizards was amazing. He had 27 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist on 12 for 19 shooting. This was all like jump hooks. This was all like, I'm taking Kispert into the paint, Bertans into the paint, Danny into the paint. I'm just going to jump hook them, drop step them until they change their defense. And they were down in this game too, and they fought their way back just because like the Scotty Barnes takeover happened. He had 27, I think, at the end of the third quarter, and then the Wizards had to change their defense up. But the Raptors, at that point, they were back in the game. They were able to pull it out. So really nice response from Scotty Barnes. I don't think he's going to win Rookie of the Year, but I don't want people to forget that boy is really good.
Playing the most minutes per game out of all rookies.
Oh yeah, he played 40 minutes that game, and he's guarding like tough assignments. You know.
I was, so if we just did the players pushing P segment, which Will, thank you for saying that there's a beautiful song. It really is beautiful if you listen to it and really take in what they're saying. But how do we feel about this rookie class so far? I think that we could talk about that a little bit because we had 2 rookies pushing P this week, and I feel like, I like what I'm seeing from some of these rookies. Yeah, I don't know if we're seeing like any superstars yet, but like I think we have some definitely in the making, some very solid pieces in the making for sure.
Yeah,
I'm seeing some superstars.
Who are you seeing some superstar status from with this rookie class?
Who do you see?
I may be higher on it than you guys. Evan Mobley, first of all, is, I mean, he's going to be like a all NBA defender every year. He's going to be an all-star, like a near all-star miss this season. His rookie season, he will be like a near all-star miss. Like he's just not there yet, but he's almost there. That's amazing. And people were like, oh, he's skinny, maybe he won't be good on defense immediately. I thought going into this that Evan Mobley would be the best rookie out of this class 5 years from now. He is the best rookie out of the class this year. And I still think he has like the most room to improve. It's amazing. I think that Evan Mobley, when people call him Slim Duncan, look, Tim Duncan is like a really high mark, like arguably the best power forward of all time. Right. But like we're talking about a player that I think could be an all-star for many seasons, could be an all NBA player, could be an all defense player. On top of that, he's getting slept on right now since Detroit is awful, but Cade Cunningham really is that guy. Like he is really good. It's just that the team around him is not. So they don't complete the shots on his passes. Like they don't provide him like adequate space to work. But if you watch Cade only, like he himself is very, very good. And I think people forgot because he started the season not playing due to the ankle injury. And then when he did play, like he didn't have a very memorable debut or anything like that because, he was coming off an ankle injury and it was his first few games. But he's really pulled it together. He's playing really well. I believe in him too. And then the other guys in his class are awesome too.
Yeah, I echo everything you're saying. It's weird since like it's not like a draft. I don't think that there's, it's only once every 5 years that we get a draft where there's like a Zion type figure. I don't think we have that, but also we know how that can sort of detract from the class if it's like a huge flop like that. So yeah, no, I'm excited to see where they are and how many all-star appearances we get the next few years. So
shout out Josh Giddey, man. I don't think he's going to save Oklahoma City for the future, but really good pickup. And I think if they keep drafting that way with the 5 million picks that they have in the next 5 years or 7 years or whatever it is, that's going to be a very good team because Josh Giddey is definitely a piece that you want on your team. I think a lot of teams would, like the teams that are in contention would love to have a guy like Josh Giddey coming off the bench or something. So no, I'm excited to see these players develop for sure.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that Cade Cunningham sentiment. It's really tough coming like into a seat. I know he's not coming in mid-season, but just coming in from the injury and then trying to find your footing. And plus the team around him is just, yikes. And Jeremy Grant hasn't even been traded yet. And I think we all expect him to, so might be a tough year for that team.
Yeah. Cool. Any not pushing P that we want to highlight more? Like people or entities not pushing P this week?
I don't want to do this to him, but like, you're seeing it everywhere. And Steph Curry, man, I feel bad for the guy almost because you that game I mentioned with the Pacers, that needs to be an easy win. When you're going up against a team that, like, I think coming into the game, there was some crazy, like 3 of like 15 or 18 on the road, just like one of the worst road teams in the NBA without your 3 best players. I don't care if you don't have Draymond Green, figure it out, right? That you cannot shoot 12 from 27 from the floor against a Pacers team that who's the guy defending you? I mean, seriously.
Kiefer Sykes.
Yeah.
Torrey Craig.
Torrey Craig.
Torrey Craig's a good defender. Kiefer Sykes is like shorter than me, and he balled out that game.
Yeah,
this is on national TV too. Like everybody saw them get embarrassed.
Right. I don't know if this is just a midseason slump. I don't want to hear anything about Draymond Green. I don't care. Figure it the hell out, because we were talking about you being the MVP a month or 2 ago. Don't tell me, oh, Draymond's. Come on, man. I feel bad for him though, because like everybody knows this. Everybody's roasting him, but
I want to talk about Steph Curry MVP. He's not P. He is not the MVP. Okay. He's decidedly not MVP. Okay. He should not be anywhere close to the top on anybody's MVP leaderboards right now. The Warriors started 17-2. They have been 16-11 since. He is playing maybe the worst individually he's played in many years. What people are not seeing about the Warriors is they win games because they have the #1 defense in the NBA. You know, it's not Steph Curry explosions or Steph Curry supernovas. In fact, like the shift from expectation is so drastic that the Warriors hit the under more than any other team in the NBA because
they play
people,
defense.
Yeah, people think that the way that they win is like this run and gun, like Steph Curry supernova, or maybe they just want to see Steph Curry score a lot. But in reality, they grind other teams down, and you know their defense is genuinely really good. And Steph Curry is a plus defender at this point. He wasn't always, you know, but I mean, the shooting performances, like I'm not trying to hate on the guy. He's in a slump or whatever, right? But he's not the MVP. I can't believe he's still the favorite. I know he hit the game winner against the Rockets. It was cool to see him get his first buzzer beater in his career. His first like technical buzzer beater. By the very strict definition that there's zeros on the clock when it goes in. But why are you in a dogfight with Houston? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you should beat this team handily.
That's fair.
I think that's what good teams do, right? They win games by a solid margin against teams that they like we all expect them to. And then I know everyone has an off night. I mean, the Warriors shot 21% from 3. None of us expect them to do that moving forward in a game. But at the same time, like, you know what? Steph Curry, he needs to take a page out of his city neighbor friend in San Francisco, Jimmy Garoppolo. He needs to just, you know, Jimmy G, a lot of people hate on Jimmy G, but when the chips are down, Jimmy G, he just, when his name is called, he does what he needs to do.
Game
He doesn't
managers.
do too much.
He
doesn't
overextend again.
He has a couple bad moments, and that's why we crap on him sometimes. But at the end of the day, Jimmy G, he uses the team around him.
He does.
He doesn't go 6 for 16 on 3.
Hey,
which is not
you know what they
bad.
have in common?
What's that?
You know what Jimmy G and Steph Curry have in common?
What?
They turn the ball over in big moments.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean that behind the bass packs will live in infamy, sort of.
my point is, my point is the thing that Jimmy G does well is, he manages the game. Steph Curry could take a little bit of that in his game. 12 for 27, people. You can't do that. Come on. I'm not saying don't turn over like Jimmy G. I'm not saying Jimmy G is the best quarterback ever or anything like that. But like, you know, more times than not, I feel like, he's chill. He does what he's required to do. Do what you do. Help your team out, man. Just chill out, Steph.
Absolutely.
I have a sort of different not P team.
Okay.
About 7 minutes left in the game. The Boston Celtics are up on the Portland Trailblazers 100-89.
Okay. All right.
And the game ends in a Trailblazers win 109-105. The Celtics scored 5 points in the last about 7.5 minutes and let the Portland team with no Damian Lillard score 20. Yeah, I have my math right. I mean, Jason Tatum, I think I saw a stat that he is 1 for 20 on his last 23-point attempts.
Yep.
That is crazy. I mean, some of that is like just a really, really bad luck, right? But
Yeah.
I just kind of feel like late in the game, the Celtics, they go to this ISO offense and they don't really get into their sets or anything. And they're just a completely different team than they were the first 3 quarters. And you would think with players like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they would be great in the clutch. They're not. They're really bad. I don't know the record off the top of my head, but they have a bad record in clutch games. It's ugly, and they lost the game before that to I'll have to check. It was against the Hornets. So I mean they're losing these. Hornets is maybe a bigger game even because it's a within conference game, and that was on national TV. But I mean, this Blazers team, they're playing better defense without Damian Lillard. Like, come on. I don't even think Norman Powell played either.
Shout out Anthony Simons though.
Anthony Simons is P. He's playing well.
Mm-hmm.
Nurk played really well that game. I mean, they let the Blazers play well. What can I say? You know what I mean? Like the Blazers played well that game, maybe because the Celtics let them play well.
Well, looking at the fourth quarter, the Blazers shot almost 50% from 3. That you can't do that in the fourth. Or no, sorry, not the fourth. Yeah, for the fourth quarter, he shot 50% from 3. In 3 out of the 4 quarters, the Blazers shot over 50%. In the first quarter, they shot 75% from 3. So, whereas the Celtics, and we've said it on the podcast, the fourth quarter they were 4 for 10 from 3. The rest of the quarters they shot below 36%. The third quarter they shot 16% from 3. I know they had 6 shots, but I mean, man, you got to shoot better from 3, man.
Nurk was all over the glass too. He had 17 boards, 6 offensive rebounds. I know a couple of those offensive rebounds were in the fourth. Even Nurk hit like a big 3 late in the game. It's crazy. But the Celtics, I mean, I just kind of feel like they're very disappointing.
Definitely.
You maybe tune into the game, you want to see like a Jason Tatum masterclass because he can excite you any game, and it feels like it's like not happening, or maybe they're not putting him in a position where it can happen or something. It's just not a fun situation there.
Yeah.
So that's my not P situation.
For sure. Yeah, okay. I'll close it out with not P. This is actually kind of a good thing, but evidently Westbrook is not pushing P because, Lakers management gave Vogues the approval to bench him in the fourth quarter, which I am, I went to Instagram and stored that we're going all the way, but that's definitely an overreaction probably. But I do think that's going to help at least our hopes. Maybe we'll be a 6 seed, avoid the play-in now, since he just does boneheaded things. And they're 2-1 this week, and he hasn't looked awful, but he's also been minimized. Well, I guess he really hasn't been minimized, but he's only his worst shooting game is the one loss, And so I imagine if we see he doesn't have it, we'll just, take him out. But I'm excited about that. So Westbrook not pushing P, still optimistic we can somehow figure it out. But like Marko has told me, that's probably some hopium. So
Can I just say about the Lakers they played the Magic on Friday? I think so going in the final like 3 or 4 minutes of that game, they just let the Magic go on a run, and the Magic were up like 10 at halftime. And then the Magic, doing Magic things, completely gave it up. You know what? The Lakers are in a lot of trouble. The Magic are terrible. They have some nice pieces. I think I like Wagner, Franz, not Mo Wagner, but more Franz, and then Cole Anthony's nice. Jalen Suggs I think will grow into a good piece, but that team is buns, and you're letting them get up on you 10 points at halftime. Most good teams are going to make you pay for that. You're not winning that game. So they're playing the Heat tonight. Man, that's going to be, hey, we're taking a dip below 500 today after that game. There's no way that the Heat are going to let the Magic or let the Lakers. If they get a 10-point lead at halftime, it's over.
Yeah, that's true. I'll agree with that. That's fair.
I was looking at the lines. The Lakers were favored 4.5 points against the team with 8 wins.
The worst team in the East.
The
worst team in the league. It's the record.
Yeah. I don't think they're the least talented team in the league, but they have the worst record in the league. But a team with 8 wins, they were favored by 4.5. They covered, but it was dicey.
That's what we're doing. We're hoping that a team that people thought was going to the finals, hopefully they can cover against the worst team in the NBA. Really?
They covered 4.5 against the worst team in the NBA. That's wild. I think Westbrook didn't play bad that game. Did he? I think that he is not their biggest problem. We've talked about this before. He's not their biggest issue. It was to me, ownership and the construction.
He's getting scapegoated by me and a lot of people. But yeah, the fit is just not there with a lot of these things. There's like 13 guys on the roster who feel like they deserve legitimate minutes. So
I'm excited to see how Bam punishes the Lakers tonight. Bam's coming.
Can I say I got to say some P stuff about the Lakers? Actually,
okay.
I saw that some Lakers insiders shout out. Actually, I would shout his Twitter out, but I don't remember that handle. There are some Lakers insiders who say that the reason that Stanley Johnson and Austin Reeves have not been playing as many minutes as some other guys is because Reeves is a rookie and Stanley Johnson hasn't been on the roster for very long. That's a bad reason. Stanley Johnson is actually playing really well for them. Austin Reeves is playing really well for them. However, you would think that that's a bad thing that I just said. I have heard that from now on, you're going to start to see more Stanley Johnson minutes and more Austin Reeves minutes than Avery Bradley minutes.
Wow.
So I think that, they're going to start playing their best players. Now, I want to point this out. That's not coaching. That's locker room, politicking and front office stuff. Because a lot of the times they promise players minutes and playing time to get them to sign there, and then it doesn't work out or something like that. Last year, a lot of the Andre Drummond minutes over Mark Gasol, I feel like that was the wrong player to go with. And I think that they just had to do it because they promised Andre Drummond that he would play so many minutes to get him to sign there. You know, this is kind of the case. You sign Avery Bradley, you're we're going to play you X amount of minutes, but Austin Reeves is better. They're going to start playing him more. Stanley Johnson is playing really well. They're going to start playing him more. So maybe you're going to start to see some good stuff from the Lakers.
Knock on wood, we'll see where it goes. But I think
Yeah, keep
it's
knocking.
2-1 this week. I think it's a good news situation there. And yeah, hopefully figure it out.
Yeah, keep knocking till your knuckles are bleeding.
I know.
The Heat are tough. The Heat are tough. So
The Heat
This is who the Lakers. This is who the Lakers have to play the next in their road trip. Miami, Brooklyn, 76ers, Hornets, and then the Hawks. I say they go.
That's 3-2.
You think they go 3-2?
Yeah,
that road
I
trip.
do.
I say
do.
1-4.
I always think the Hornets are gonna lose, but then they win.
Yeah.
So like I can't say that, but the Hawks. I mean, the Hawks are playing pretty well right now. Shout out Onyeka Okongwu.
Oh yeah.
Chino Hill's legend. The forgotten guy who played with the Ball brothers.
True.
He's hooping. Like honestly, they might be able to move off of Capella. Okongwu is hooping so.
He played with Evan Mobley. They both went to USC, right?
I don't think they went at the same time, but they did both go to USC.
Well, I say they go 1-4.
I'm going 2-3.
Okay.
They are definitely going. They're walking out of this road trip below 500. How about that?
Okay, we'll see.
All right, we'll check back in after the road trip. Okay. Do we want to
Sorry,
talk
not
about?
sorry, Will.
That's fine. Do we want to talk about the Nets Wizards and the coach deflection?
Yeah, man.
Okay. It was like 2:30 left in the game, right? Or it was under 4 minutes. It was like 3:30.
5:45 left.
Yeah.
And okay, so the Wizards got past for a corner three, but one of the Nets coaches deflected the ball. He's been fined at that $10,000, right? No?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's been fined $10,000. I think it got more media press since Kuz said it was BS in the presser after. But Marko or Eric or Marko, you guys said they probably kicked out if they're a fan, right? Do you think, banned for life was thrown around maybe, but I don't know about that.
Maybe for a season, but
I think banned for a season.
I don't know if you guys remember this with baseball. I think this was in like the late 90s or early 2000s, the Chicago Cubs. I can't remember the outfielder, but they were playing, and I can't remember the team they were playing, maybe the Marlins or something, but guy from the other team hit a ball that was like near the wall, and Chicago outfielder tried to get it, and then a fan like reached his hand up and caught it, and it was ruled like a home run or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's on that level.
Right.
But like a couple questions. First of all, you're an assistant coach. This is an assistant coach. Why are you standing up? Sit down. And second of all, the ball is clearly still live. It's not like the ball was like flying over the assistant coach's head into the. Why are you reaching your hand out into the court to touch it? I think, I don't know about don't fine the guy his whole salary, but I think it wouldn't have been as bad if it wasn't in the fourth quarter, but just a terrible, I don't know. I feel like that's not a premeditated thing. It seemed like, it was in the moment, but I think if you're sitting down, this doesn't happen.
Right.
It's not like you're going to kick your leg up and then hit the ball, but yeah, sit down.
Yeah, I'd agree. Sure.
I just want to give a little detail on the baseball incident you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The fan's name was Steve Bartman. Yes. And it happened in 2003 during a playoff game between the Cubs and the Marlins.
Right. Yeah.
I think. And I'm pretty sure that Steve Bartman still doesn't show his face in Chicago. Okay, but this isn't like a playoff game. The fact that it ended up within 1 point is really unfortunate for the Wizards and how this play turned out. I feel like had they not called this a turnover on the Wizards, it should have been a tech and the Wizards keep the ball.
Yeah,
or something along those lines,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
And then, who knows how the game ends from there, because the end games, they play out a little differently depending on what the score is. So, if the Wizards had an extra 1 point, I mean, maybe they win, maybe they go into overtime, maybe they still lose, right? But at least it's called properly. I think the
Right.
fact that this was just called a turnover on the Wizards is like a bad part. I do think he feels really bad about it. I understand this is a guy who I think he's very well respected. David Vanterpool is very well respected, and I'm sure he has like basketball instincts, and just stuck his hand out. Good. I don't know, but I've never seen that before, right? Like
Right.
I'm sure a lot of assistant coaches have basketball instincts, and they never did that. So it's really unfortunate that it ended up in a loss for the Wizards by 1 point. It kind of feels like the deciding factor in the game. I understand why you would call it BS.
Yeah.
Right. And he's shot, Kuzma has shot well, especially from the corner. So it's like,
I think he was going to drive it, honestly. I think he was going to catch and drive.
it's just the fact that opportunity to score was just taken away just because an assist. I don't know what the hell that guy was even thinking, but yeah, I hope that, like you mentioned, it's not a playoff game. I just hope that we don't see anything like this. I mean, it's not like we see this on a regular occurrence, but hopefully the coach and other people around the league got this out of their system so that they don't do it again. And I'm sure that now that there's like a precedent for the $10,000 fine, I'm sure for the playoffs would be even more. Or maybe the refs would review it, they'll have a better, now that it's in their mind, they can review this and be like, oh, coach did this.
I think they'd have to. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, probably they don't want this to happen again. Okay.
Blessing in disguise.
Another unfortunate, clip that came out this week. The Grayson Allen foul on Caruso. Caruso's out. You said 6 to 8 weeks, Marko.
Yeah, he's having wrist surgery. He broke his wrist on the fall. If you haven't seen it, what happened is essentially, there's a Bulls fast break, and Caruso gets the ball. He's going up for a layup, and Grayson Allen kind of takes him out of the air. He by the arms, really, like,
yeah.
Their arms get a little tangled up, and it kind of looks like he pulls him down to the ground, and Caruso hits the ground pretty hard. Now, like, this happened, I think, in the third quarter. It's called a flagrant 2. Grayson Allen's ejected, right? But the question that I want to ask you guys is this really a flagrant 2, or is this a flagrant 1 that got called a flagrant 2 on the basis of his reputation?
Do you think the reputation plays into it? I don't know. Like, it's like we're playing the results. Like, like a player can get really hurt on, a play that, wasn't that bad by the defender. But given that he did get hurt and was clearly like super in pain, and like that it was Grayson Allen, I think that's why you had to give him the 2.
I do want to point this out. Caruso played the rest of the game.
Oh,
like,
okay.
He didn't.
That was lost on me. I didn't realize that. Okay.
He played. Oh, first of all, what a tough guy, right?
Yeah. No. I miss him.
But he played the game out, so it's not like he went to the locker room immediately after this. You know what I mean? Now, like, potential for injury is a considered factor for flagrant fouls, but it's a considered factor even for a flagrant 1 foul. So I guess I'm kind of gonna look. I'm not trying to defend Grayson Allen. I'm going to argue here that this was a flagrant 1. Okay, because to me, like, a flagrant 1 is like a reckless play with a chance for injury. Could be anything from getting hit in the head. Players don't mean to hit each other in the head, but that's called a flagrant 1 a lot of the time. Another one, I think, a push in the back when a player is in the air, that should be a flagrant 1. in my opinion.
Right.
That is to me that's a really dangerous play because like it doesn't maybe look so bad, but it completely like throws a player off in the air. It has a potential to hurt them a lot. It's not always called a flagrant one, but I think it should be. A flagrant 2 is like I tried to hurt this guy or something like that. Like I malicious play. You know what I mean?
Bynum elbowing what's that guy's name? The JJ Burr. Remember, this was like over 10 years ago. Remember, I think it's JJ Barea on the Mavs was going up for a layup, and then Andrew Bynum like elbowed him right in the rib.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or I think Meta World Peace elbowed James Harden like in the head or something like that.
Yeah.
Is it an extremely reckless play? Yes. Does this player have a history of making reckless and occasionally malicious plays? Back to his college days, he does. I don't really think he did much in the NBA. He didn't really when he was on the Grizzlies. There was no incident, right? Mm-hmm. And by the way, I'm not defending him because he was a Grizzly.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Like I'm actually glad that I don't have to defend him because he's not on the Grizzlies anymore, right? This is truly what I think is that he probably was going for the ball, right? Like, I kind of feel like he's trying to like grab the ball out of Caruso's hands with like both arms or something like that, and it ends up in a really bad situation. But like, are we sure that he actively like tried to pull him down out of the air? I don't know. Tell me I'm wrong. If you think I'm wrong, tell me.
Yeah, I don't think he like tried to, but it just looked really bad. But yeah, I don't.
I suck at physics. It's the reason I didn't continue being pre-med. Physics sucks. I hate it. It's hard to understand. But this is what I'll say about the play. He had Alex Caruso going straight to the basket, and then like a perpendicular force of Grayson Allen coming in from the side, and it looked like he was trying to grab the ball like from him coming the other way, and what ended up happening was maybe he like grabbed onto his hand and essentially spun him around. And so I don't think it was malicious. I don't think he was trying to hurt him. It was just very awkward. Like it wasn't like Grayson Allen was standing right in front, but I think it was just the fact that he was coming from the side and he really was trying to rip the ball out of his hand, and he like it looked like he was grabbing his wrist a little bit, and he did spin him around. And I think that's what the fact that that spinning and not being able to land properly. I will throw this out. This is a little messed up to say, but we do remember Alex Caruso played with LeBron James. We know LeBron James loves to, not loves, but he likes exaggerating some things sometimes with the refs and all that. Is it possible? This is really messed up, and I recognize that. Is it possible that Caruso was trying to sell this like in a little bit?
Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? I said there's like
I think there's more fault on Grayson Allen, but is it possible that Caruso, because we remember Caruso, I think there were memes about this where they won the title and then everyone on the Lakers felt entitled to get foul calls and exaggerate things. Is it possible that Caruso might have tried to sell things on his way down? I don't know. It's messed up to say, but I don't know.
It's possible. I just don't think on the way down. I think maybe once he's in pain, he's like, okay, let's milk this. But like even that, I don't really think.
I think you're right when you say it's messed up to say it.
It's very messed up. It's awful because he got really hurt.
I don't think you're correct. Like, I think that your instincts when you're in the air like that is like protect myself on the way down. And that results in you sticking your hand out when that's actually not the right way to like land. when you're in the air, because something like that can happen. I think that's your brain tells you like put your hand out to break your fall, right? If you're in the air like that, when really you should like try to land on like your butt, really, you know what I mean? Not that he necessarily could have done that, but knowing that he has a broken wrist now, I find it a little difficult to argue that he was trying to sell it or anything like that. Also, this kind of thing happened like really fast.
True.
I guess the last thing I'll bring up is that or maybe I don't know if I mentioned this already, but Taylor Horton Tucker made like the same play on Jalen Suggs on the same night, and that was called a flagrant one. Kind of feel like the reputation caused it to be a flagrant 2 rather than a flagrant 1. However, I guess we can kind of wrap it up on this unless you guys have anything to add. Like, if you have a history of making reckless plays, if you want to argue that they're not really malicious but they're reckless, you still have a history of making reckless plays, and you need to stop doing that, right? It's not a good thing to do, obviously, right? Like, so whether it's intentional or not, and like I said, like, while I don't really believe that it's malicious, like, he still really needs to get that under control. And it's fair to criticize him for being a reckless player, even if you don't necessarily think that play happened on purpose, or that he's made like an on purpose play like that really since college. We kind
of have to ask ourselves, if you wanted to differentiate between reckless and malicious, like, if they are different but the outcome is the same, then why does it matter?
That's true too.
So again, about my previous point, I think there's more fault on Grayson Allen. I don't think it was malicious, but now we're starting to bring into question, like, okay, I don't think because there's repeated reckless incidents with him that it's turning into malicious intent. But like, if the outcome is still the same, like if it was malicious or not, then like, what do you do about that?
Yeah, and people, so a lot of people have made a lot of the fact that like he kind of like his reaction to the play was not very good. What I think of that, like, if people say that he was laughing or something like that, he definitely didn't check on Caruso, which is not good. That's like not a nice thing, and I don't think that means that he meant to hurt him or whatever, right? But like, I don't think that's very nice of you to do, right? But what I think that happens is that I've heard him talk on podcasts about like how it kind of became the situation where it's like, I can't believe that I keep doing this, right? Where it's like something happens in like the heat of the moment, and then afterwards immediately it's like, how do I keep doing this? Like, not he doesn't think of it like, how does it keep happening to me, but like how does this, like, how do I keep end up doing this, right? And I think that he is like pretty critical of himself about it. If you listen to it, at least back on the Duke incident, he was pretty critical on himself about it. So I can imagine that this happens and he's kind of just like, how do I keep doing this? You know what I mean? Like what is going on? Does that make it better? No, not really. He should have checked on Caruso. He should have been a little more apologetic. Like we said, he shouldn't make reckless plays. But that's what I ascribe that to, instead of, he's like evil laughing his way out of there.
Yeah, I agree.
Get well soon, Caruso. That's what I'll say.
Get well soon.
The NBA is better with
better with him. Okay, and I think to close it out, I'm going to defer largely to Eric because he has an idea for a game of sorts. So let's get it going.
I got to pit my brothers against each other. You guys have a pen and a paper, or like something to write down for this game?
Yeah, I do.
Do I need a lot of paper?
No, maybe a sheet.
I'll get a sheet.
Or just a note.
I got
Okay. Yeah. And while you guys are finding that, I'll explain the game. I wasn't able to think of a clever name for it, but let's just call it the traveling game.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to name a player to you guys, and you guys have to tell me as many teams as these guys have played for as possible.
Okay.
Now, there is a
Okay.
catch. If you name a team
That
that they didn't play for, that's -1. Every correct team that they played for is +1. So
Marco's definitely gonna win, but okay, let's do it. Sounds fun, sounds fun.
choose your teams wisely,
Okay.
and you'll have 45 seconds for
For each player in total.
For each player.
Okay.
I'll set the timer for the first player. Will, I believe in you. I know. I think when I was making this game, I said Marko is an NBA fiend.
Savant. Yes.
But you know what? Have you ever seen the movie Remember the Titans? Underdog. There's an underdog story here, so let's get it.
He's Rudy right now.
Yeah. All right. I will name this game. Will have 5 players.
Okay.
May the best NBA fan win.
Okay.
First player, Serge Ibaka. Go.
My pen doesn't work. He's got an advantage.
I got an advantage now.
Got a head start.
Okay, I mean,
All right. Yeah.
I think I'm done.
I'm done as well on that one.
Oh, actually, no, I got one more.
Damn it.
All right.
Okay.
You guys are both done?
Yeah.
All right. We'll start off with Marko.
Do I have to name him in order?
No.
Okay. I will anyway. OKC, Orlando, Toronto, LA Clippers.
Okay.
4
Yeah.
for 4. Correct.
I just missed Orlando. I had Clippers, Raptors, OKC.
He
Okay.
was traded to the Raptors for like Terrence Ross and some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Next player, Victor Oladipo.
Okay.
Victor Oladipo, second pick in the 2013 draft.
Man, he was like one of my favorite players. His all NBA year. That was crazy.
Man's been quite the journeyman past several years.
Does it count if he is on a team but hasn't played for them?
Yes.
Oh wait. Okay. Well, he was okay. Got it. I'm
All right.
good then.
Okay. I'm
Fine.
tapped out.
All right. We'll start with you.
Okay. Indiana, Rockets, Heat.
Okay, that's 3. Marko.
Orlando, OKC, Indiana, Houston, Miami.
Correct.
Wow.
I realized that I probably should ask how many okay, this is what I'll do from now on. I'm going to ask how many choices you have, and whoever has less will go first.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm also trusting you guys. Scouts honor.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah.
I could prove this if needed.
We're some trustworthy guys over here at the B+ Boys Club. So
Yes,
fans don't worry. All right. Next player, Enes Freedom, formerly known as Enes Kanter.
All right. Enes Freedom.
All right. This one gets a little.
Yeah.
Surprised to note that Enes Freedom is 29 years old. Seems like he's 59 years old. He's made a lot of memories in the NBA.
I want to guess never mind.
Does it count as he was Enes Kanter before? Like,
yeah.
Okay, so we're not. This isn't like a trick question.
No. Same person.
Okay. Hopefully, I'm not missing something big here.
Recently became a U.S. citizen. Fun fact. All right, time.
All right.
Will, how many choices do you have?
3.
Marko?
4.
Okay, Will, go ahead.
I think I'm going to be minus a point here because, I have Boston, Portland, and Mavs. I think Mavs is wrong.
Mavs is incorrect, but 2 were right. Marco?
I have Utah, Portland, the Knicks, and Boston.
Utah, Portland, the Knicks, and Boston. That's 4, and those are correct. So the teams that
Is
he
that
played
all?
for in
Okay.
order, played for the Jazz, played for the Thunder for a couple of years, then the Knicks, then he's been back and forth with Boston and Portland. So okay. That was Marco's first player that the previous 2 players, Serge Ibaka and Victor Oladipo, Marco got all of them and he missed one, but we move on. Okay, this is going to be tough. You got to be careful here.
Okay.
Robin Lopez.
Oh,
Oh,
that is
boy.
tough.
Okay.
A lot of potential for Will to catch up here, as Robin Lopez has played for quite a few teams. Was drafted in the NBA in 2008.
I'm going with this one, even if I lose a point, I believe.
He's got those vibes to him. Okay.
Not to be confused with his twin brother, Brook, who won an NBA championship last year with the Bucks.
Congratulations to him.
Congratulations to him.
Congrats.
All right, time.
I have 4. I have 4.
4?
I have 6.
Okay.
All right.
Will, we'll
Now,
start
to
with
keep
you.
in mind, there's potential to lose points for me.
Drew.
Yeah. All right, let's play it. Okay, Milwaukee, like you said, that was my first one. And then his brother played for the Lakers, and so that's not an answer. But then I feel like he played in a small market team like this, so I'm going to say Memphis. And I'm probably wrong, so it's
That
probably
is
0.
incorrect, unfortunately.
Yeah, so it's 0 for me on the turn. Great. That's all. Oh, no, sorry. That might be -2. Because -1 because I also have Minnesota.
That is also incorrect.
Yeah. That's also
All right.
incorrect, right?
Sorry
That's
about
fine.
that, Will.
That's fine.
So we end the round for Will with -1. Marco?
Okay, I think I have the order a little bit wrong on these first 3, but Phoenix,
Correct.
I think, is where he started his career. The Knicks and the Bulls in some order.
He did play for the Knicks and Bulls.
Wow.
Then I have Milwaukee, Washington, and Orlando.
Correct. So in order, he played for the Phoenix Suns, the New Orleans Hornets, the
No memory of that.
Trailblazers, the Knicks, the Bulls, the Bucks, the Wizards, and then the Magic.
You know what? I should have remembered the Blazers. That's the one that I missed.
Quite the journey.
No memory of those. Huh?
All right, last player.
Gonna give me like Jeff Green or something.
A little bit of a bias here, and that's a hint. It's not really a hint to Marco, but more to Will.
Okay, got it.
Rudy Gay. Ended it off on a little bit of an easy note.
That's my guy.
As this is the first installment of traveling with the B+ boys.
Well, I'm gonna know his whole path.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will, my apologies.
It's okay.
Not this guy.
Are you
guys
done,
seen that
Marco?
clip?
I got 2.
I got 5.
All right.
Okay. Will?
I think this is gonna be -2. I said Memphis and Washington.
Memphis is correct. Washington, unfortunately, is not.
Oh, so 0. Okay, that works.
Marco?
He was a Memphis Grizzly. Then we traded him to the Toronto Raptors. Then he went to the Sacramento Kings. Then he went to the San Antonio Spurs, and he is currently Utah Jazz.
All right, that concludes traveling with the B+ boys, and a quick tally will show that.
I don't know the score, but
You definitely won.
Marko ends up with 24,
Let's go.
and I believe he had 1, 2, 3 out of the 5 players. He got all of them.
Let's
Will
go.
6, 7, comes out with 6.
Let's go.
That,
I'm gonna close the
that
gap
and that
when we do
is the
this.
first installment of traveling with B+ boys. Will, apologies. I believe, you know what? Next week,
It's good.
you can pit me and Marko against each other.
It's motivation. I'm with it.
But
let me ask you guys a question. A quick follow-up here. Name what team Trevor Ariza was on last year. This is harder than it should be.
Portland?
I want to say Washington.
No. Wait a second. Is this
He was
triple?
on
It was
the
the NBA
Suns,
team,
right?
right?
Was he on the
He
Suns?
was in the NBA.
The
Was he on the
Pelicans?
Suns? I have no idea.
He was on the Heat.
Oh, come on, man.
That's
He was on
right.
the Heat last year.
I forgot
He was on the Trailblazers in the past few years.
2 years ago, he started the year on OKC, which he didn't play. Then he was on the Kings, I think, and then he was on the Blazers or something crazy like that. Trevor Ariza is like, as a question for this would be insane. Like I think he's played for 12 teams or something, or he's been traded like 12 times.
Fun fact:
I'm excited.
UCLA Bruin.
He is a UCLA Bruin, also an NBA champion
Who studied statistics.
That's tight.
Trevor Ariza?
No, I just made that up.
That'd be incredible.
I think he was was he a one and done? Yeah, he was a one and done.
Well, that was fun.
And
Not saying one and dones can't study statistics, but well, I wouldn't put money on it.
I wouldn't think they would want to, I guess.
Can you name all 12 teams Jeff Green has played for?
I can name some of them for sure.
I could not.
We'll have to save that for
We'll have to save it.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
But hopefully,
study up.
Hopefully, we will increase our NBA knowledge and we'll have some better battles with this traveling segment.
I'm motivated.
You viewers at home, go ahead and play along with us. See how you compare against the boy wonder, Marko Jankov.
And
kind of like, you know what it's like? It's like everyone says, oh yeah, I want to see a civilian compete in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you have 2 civilians competing in the Olympics, me and Will.
That's true.
Yeah, NBA Trivia Olympics.
Yeah. That's amazing. Okay, well, I think that is about it for us. Thank you guys. See you guys next week. Thank you.